இப்பொழுது மேன்மை தங்கிய ஜனாதிபதி உட்பட வந்திருக்கிறார்கள். சென்றில் போகும் பொழுது மாங்கட வழக்கை ஏற்றி வைப்பார்கள்.
ත්‍රිවිධ
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उत्कल जलधि तरंगा, तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
அமைச்சினுடைய அந்த உறவுகள் மன்றம், வெளிநாட்டு அலுவல்கள் அமைச்சு, புத்த சாசன மத அலுவல்கள் அமைச்சு, இலங்கை பேராதனை சர்வகலாசாலை, இலங்கை சர்வதேச பௌத்த அகாடமி ஆகியவை ஒன்றிணைந்து இந்த நிகழ்வை நடத்துகின்றன. பல பௌத்த நாடுகளும் இந்த நிகழ்விலே கலந்து கொள்கின்றன.
Good morning. We gathered here at the Sri Lanka Buddhist Academy at Pallekele for the inauguration ceremony of the International Buddhist Conference. The theme of the conference is cultural interface between India and Sri Lanka based on Buddhist history, art, literature and philosophy. The conference is organized by the Indian High Commission, the Indian Council for Cultural Relations in association with the Ministry of External Affairs, the Ministry of Buddha Sasana and Religious Affairs, the University of Peradeniya and the Sri Lanka International Buddhist Academy.
මල්වතු පාර්ශවයන් වෙනුවෙන් මහා විහාර වංශික ශාමෝපාලි නිකායේ මල්වතු මහා විහාර පාර්ශවයේ අතිපූජනීය අනුනායක නියංගොඩ ශ්‍රී විජිතසිරි මාහිමිපාණන් වහන්සේට සදහැවතුනි අපි තිසරණ සහිත පංචශීලයේ සමාදන් වීමට নমස්කාරය කියමු. අවසරයි ස්වාමින් වහන්සේ. නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. නමෝ තස්ස.
Good morning everybody. අප මෙම අවස්ථාවට රැස් වී සිටින්නේ අද ශ්‍රී ලංකා ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදී සමාජවාදී ජනරජයේ අතිගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමා 2010 වර්ෂයේ ඉන්දියාවේ නිල සංචාරයක් කළ අවස්ථාවේදී ඉන්දියන් ගරු අගමැතිතුමා සමග
distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, at the outset
I would like to sincerely thank His Excellency the President of Sri Lanka for gracing the inauguration of the International Buddhist Conference. This conference was envisaged in the joint declaration issued during His Excellency's visit to India in June 2010, when he and the Prime Minister of India decided that we'll jointly commemorate the 2600th year of the attainment to enlightenment by Lord Buddha, art, literature, culture, and philosophy. These exchanges continue to flourish under the stellar role played by Anagarika, Dharmapala, and others who enriched and revitalized these links in recent years. The journey of the Holy Tree, from India to Sri Lanka and back, nurtured by the soil of both lands and sustained through caring hands of Indians and Sri Lankans, symbolizes this exchange of ethos. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, I am pleased to inform this august gathering that India is undertaking a number of special events to commemorate the Sambutha Jayanti. These will include an exposition of the Kapilvastu relics in Sri Lanka later this year, setting up of an Indian gallery at the International Buddhist Museum in Kandy, an installation of a specially crafted idol of Lord Buddha in the Sarnathi style from the Gupta period at the entrance of the International Buddhist Museum complex in Sri Dalida, Maligawa. Further, Indian Railways are planning to launch a special Buddhist train, Dambadiva Vandana, from Chennai later this year, catering to Sri Lankan pilgrims. The train will touch more than a dozen Buddhist centers in India, including Bodh Gaya, Sarnath, Kapilvastu, Sanchi, and Kushinagar. I'm happy that special provisions were made on these trains for Sri Lankan food. Finally, the resumption of the ferry service between Colombo and Tuticorin shortly, and between Talaimana and Rameshwaram later this year, as part of implementation of an understanding that was reached during His Excellency's visit to India in June last year, will also facilitate the travel of Buddhist pilgrims from Sri Lanka to sites in India. All these initiatives reflect India's desire to strengthen its cultural and people-to-people linkages.
President Mahinda Rajapakse, Prime Minister Excellency Jayaratne, Minister of External Affairs Professor G.L. Paris, Governor of Central Province Mr. Tikiri Kobekadua, I hope I'm pronouncing the names correctly, please forgive me. Diya Vadane Milanal of Shri Dalada Marigawa, Mr. Dala Bandare, Secretary of the Ministry of Buddhasana and Religious Affairs, Mr. Kashian Herat, Vice Chancellor of the Paradenia University, Professor Sanat Abaykun, High Commissioner of India, Shri Ashokant, most importantly, the scholars who have come from India and several other countries, along with the scholars from Sri Lanka, who are going to contribute to this conference, distinguished participants and the audience. I'm delighted to be present on this important and unique platform to discuss amongst scholars from India, Sri Lanka, such as this, establishment of Indian chairs in universities abroad, the number of which is soon going to reach a century, exchange of exhibitions of a diverse media, and many, many more things. Coming to Sri Lanka, Theravada Buddhism, which is a common legacy between India and Sri Lanka, is shared not just between the two of us, but it is a legacy which has been imparted or a gift of India and Sri Lanka to Southeast Asia and the globe and the whole world. This Buddhism, in fact, is said to have traveled from India to Sri Lanka and then on to Sri Lanka, where it has become now almost a part of daily culture. This conference clearly illustrates the high priority being attached by India to intellectual collaboration with its key partners such as Sri Lanka because of its enduring nature. The subject, which relates to the common religious and cultural paths, India and Sri Lanka have traveled for almost 2 millennia and have been instrumental in its propagation of this common legacy between India and Sri Lanka in the South Asian region. The two countries being multi-ethnic, multilingual, with a number of religions being practiced by their citizens. This legacy is reflected in rich Sinhalese and Tamil cultural traditions and texts, their history, and the common origin of many practices in the two countries. The cultural dialogue between India and Sri Lanka aims at building on this common legacy and our common aspirations for social and economic upliftment of the peoples. ICCR remains committed to fully support this process in collaboration with the government of Sri Lanka. I hope that this conference will make a valuable contribution to this process. I wish success to all participants in this project. Thank you very much.
It is my pleasure to invite the Honorable Minister of External Affairs, Professor G.L. Peiris, to address this distinguished gathering.
Your Excellency, President Mahinda Rajapaksa, President of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, the Anunayaka of the Malvatta chapter, venerable members of the Mahasangha, Honorable Prime Minister and Minister of Buddha Sasana, Governor of the Central Province, Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, the High Commissioner of India, the Director General of the Indian Center for Cultural Relations, Secretary to the President, Attorney General, dear Vadana Nilame, distinguished delegates from 8 countries represented here, ladies and gentlemen. I consider it a great privilege to be invited to share a few thoughts with you on this occasion. Volume work, The Study of History, says that each civilization throughout the history of mankind has certain unique characteristics. We are proud heirs of the Buddhist tradition, and we have every reason to be proud of our heritage. We have developed a body of doctrine and a body of social practices which are absolutely indispensable for the troubled time in which we live. So may I, on this occasion, draw attention to the fact that the learning, the wisdom, the sagacity that is embodied in the doctrine of the Buddha is a beacon light which can illuminate the world 2,600 years after the enlightenment of Gautama the Buddha.
By the Rector of Sri Lanka Buddhist Academy, Professor G.A. Somaratna, Devadana Nilame of the Dalada Maligaon will present it to His Excellency the President Mahinda Rajapaksa.
මෙම සමුළුව සංවිධානයේදී පේරාදෙණිය විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ විද්වතුන් දක්වන්නේ අනවිභවනීය සහයෝගයක්. එයද ගෞරවයෙන් සිහිපත් කරමින් ස්තුති කතාව පැවැත්වීම සඳහා අප ඊටම ගෞරවයෙන් ආරාධනා කරනවා පේරාදෙණිය විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ උපකුලපති මහාචාර්ය SBS அபயகோன் மகதாட்ட.
இன்றைய இந்த நிகழ்விலே நன்றியுரை வழங்குவதற்காக பேராதனை பல்கலைக்கழகத்தின் உபவேந்தர் பேராசிரியர் SBS அபேகோன் அவர்கள்.
University of Peradeniya is one of the partnering institutes of the conference, and the word of thanks will be delivered by Professor SBS Abekon, the Chancellor of the University of Peradeniya.
Thank you very much. Good morning to you all. Most Venerable Niyangoda Vidusiri Thero, Annayaka Mahathera of the Malvatta chapter of Shyamopali Nikaya of Mahaviharavamsa, other most Venerable Sirs, His Excellency Honorable Mahinda Rajapaksa, President of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka.
National anthems of Sri Lanka followed by that of India.